I hope y'all ready. Let's get it.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Let's go, let's go. Y'all give it up for yourselves. Welcome, man, to the show today. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. Get the right setting. There we go. Now we're back. Now we're back. How y'all feeling today, man? Tap in with your boy, Coach Smook, man. I'm glad to see y'all. Glad to see the energy in the chat, man. I love when y'all come in with that energy, man. I love it. I love it. I love it, man. Guess what tomorrow is, man? Guess what tomorrow is? Yeah, it's Friday. What's up, man? Let's go to the top, Mary J. Let's start at the top, do our roll call. Give everybody a chance to tap in, of course. You all know post-practice reports. We try to get into the show, get into the conversation. So when people tap in post live, they don't have to sit around through all the small talk. So let's get to the top of this roll call, Mary J. We're going to start with Zach. Zach, what's good, man? My brother, Roll Tide. Good to see you in there, Mary J. On the ones and twos going in. Dad, I see you out there. Sully, I see you. I see you. Jason, what's good? Roll Tide. My guy Data tapping in, man. You been hanging out a lot lately, man. What's up? You know, coming down. My guy Bot Riggs checking in, clocking in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Bot Riggs. You got to show the chat bot some love. They the ones doing all the work for real. Not me. It's the chat bots and the mods, not me. See, man, me and my boy linking up this weekend, providing y'all some Coach Smook Network coverage for A-Day. Gonna be turned. That boy Jason said he linking up with us. We got the AAA entourage going for real, man. The AAA entourage. Somebody was trying to say, I want to be in the Coach Smook entourage. Ain't no Coach Smook entourage. We family. The AAA, Alabama A-Day entourage. That's what we is, AAA family. Alabama A-Day entourage. Who trying to kick it with the AAA family this weekend? What's up, Jackson? My boy, I know Jackson, you gonna be in town for the game, man. Jaquan, what's good? Roll Tide. Jaquan Jones in the building, checking in. What's good, man? Welcome in. Hey, if you're not a member of the YouTube channel, first of all, before we start talking about being a member, I gotta acknowledge something real quick, man, because I love my community so much, man. Y'all really rock with your boy. You know what I'm saying? And when I say y'all really rock with your boy, so I'm in Montgomery, Alabama. We have viewers way over in Mississippi. And I'm in Montgomery, Alabama. Where did we go, babe? I think we were in the gas station. If you all haven't seen my Facebook story, young man from Montgomery, Alabama, rap artist. He, we exchanged, we were networking, and so I recorded, what my algorithm was, how long it take for Coach Smook name to pull up, the network name to pull up, and we was the third option. You go type Coach SM, and we the third option. So that lets you know that you guys are liking and sharing, and the content is starting to grow, the platform is starting to grow. But right as we were leaving out, young man from Mississippi, he was like, "Man, I knew that was you," and I'm like. And he looked at me. He was like, "Yeah, I was in my car." He's like, "Man, I just moved here. I'm back and forth. I'm a Bama fan, but I've been watching you since you was on the other channel. I just knew that was you." And it's cool to see that the reach is starting to get out there. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I had to tell y'all, man, y'all really sharing it. But he said, ironically, he was put on by somebody that doesn't support the network anywhere. But they said, yeah. So we getting out there. I appreciate y'all for showing the love and continuing to support. Shout out to everybody pulling up. What's up, Glenn Teague, my brother, man? Hey, Glenn, you said you ain't even gonna be at the game. You got some other stuff got going on. What's up, Russell McDaniel? How you feeling, Mr. Russell? Feeling good today? I'm excited about Saturday, man. As you all know, they had their last full on scrimmage today. Going to dive into the interviews about that. But before we dive into the interviews, you all know I like to give you all my perspective. So right after the perspective, after I do my talk, we're going to watch parts of the interview, probably like 2.5 minutes of each interview, just to get you all kind of, let everybody get honed in. We're going to kind of comment. I'm going to be going back and forth in the comments, asking you all some things in the chat, getting your reactions to what's being said post scrimmage interviews. Was some of the players, we had a lot of defensive players available today. I think Bray Hubbard, I think Jah-Marien Latham was available, Tim Keenan. I don't have the list in front of me, y'all, but shout out to Bama Central for allowing us to for putting the footage out. They got some quality footage, so we'll be reacting to that. But then not only that, chat, we're going to start building our depth chart in the last hour of the show. So for the first hour, we're going to be discussing today's scrimmage, all of the reports I'm getting. In the last hour, if you're able to stick around, call in. Let's talk about this depth chart. I don't want to be sitting here talking to myself. Y'all know me. I'll get out here and go get me some food. So, but nah, get ready to call in. And we'll let you all know when the call-in line is open. We want this show right here today to be an interactive call-in show, because this will probably be our last live show before our A-Day coverage. So, and make sure y'all have your live notifications on, because Saturday we might pop in 3 or 4 times just to check in for 30 minutes or so to kind of update everyone where we are, what we're looking at, who we're interacting with, the people that we're going to be seeing. Y'all do not want to miss our A-Day live vlog action. We're going to be having 2 different things going at one time, an actual vlog, and then we're going to be providing live segments of this vlog this Saturday. So hopefully, prayerfully, everything will go smooth. We're believing that God is going to allow everything to go smooth, and we're going to just enjoy this weekend. But let's get into the show, y'all, man. I know y'all really excited. Y'all want to hear about what happened at practice today. Today's scrimmage was very interesting from a lot of reports that I was getting. So let's jump into it. Mary J, you ready? I'm ready. Let's do it, man. Here on the Coach Smook Network. Let's get in the game, chat. AAA family. Oh, don't forget to like and share the stream. If you're watching this post live, it's helping. Every like is helping. We have been reaching crazy numbers the past 6 days. Our YouTube analytics are great. Thank you all. And you all that are coming and still not subscribing, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribing to the YouTube channel is free. But if you really want to support, you saying you want to donate, you're trying to look for the super chats and you're not catching me live, well, don't worry about super chatting. You can become a member. You can donate by becoming a member and getting your wristband and joining the AAA family. This actually gets you behind the scenes and gets you live interactive content when we're on to the hot stuff, when it involves Alabama football or just recruiting or anything hot news when it comes to sports media coverage. So think about joining the team. There's 2 levels to it. Our VIPs will start getting their VIP perks starting May 1st. Something monthly, whether it's a cash app you'll be put in for a raffle, offer cash winning prize, or you be sent out a gift from of merchandise from the network, Coach Smook Network merchandise, or a discount code for merchandise that's about to be released. So a lot of things going on here at the network for you to support. You want to support it? Go ahead and support it by liking, sharing. Yes, because we beg for likes, like my boy Sully said earlier, because we beg for likes. If we're going to beg for something, we want to beg for them likes. Like this stream, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's jump into the show, chat.
You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
All right, chat. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to jump into the show. We want to get our first reactions and interviews. I was watching Tim Keenan in the background. Apparently, I had it muted. So we're going to start from the beginning of Tim Keenan's interview, and I just want to get y'all reactions from what he had to say about today's practice, today's scrimmage. I think this defensive line group, you guys have been hearing me rave about how much of the talented group this is. I think for the first time in a while, we're going to have some bookends, at the bandit position that can really get to the quarterback and provide some consistent pass rush from that position. With the type of rotation that you're going to see there, I'm talking about guys like L.T. Overton. You're talking about Keon Keeley, Kelby Collins, the transfer from Florida, who I believe can be another, can play either the Wolf or the Bandit. Getting in that Bandit rotation is going to be quality. We know the Wolf position is loaded. That linebacker position, the Wolf linebacker position is loaded, but the D-line, the Bandit position is a quality depth position. And I think you're going to hear Tim Keenan speak on that because from what I hear, the defensive line had a big day today in today's scrimmage. So defensive line, the secondary really showed up. A lot of young inside linebackers showing up today. Abdul Sanders Jr. and QB Reese really stepping up. I'm telling you all, we will finally have that second coming of what we had with that Dylan Moses, that Mac Wilson, Anthony Jennings, when those linebackers were here, I think we have that plethora of linebacker group. That's why our defensive line group, I believe, is going to be able to shine this year with so much attention having to be thrown at the second level, different spots in the second level, and that edge position is going to be, free, all you can eat buffet for the defensive line. So diving into it, let's get Tim Keenan on and let's see what he got to say, man.
Good. Just want to ask, it's not a game like it's been in years past, but with it being a practice, is there a drill that you think fans should try to watch or they'd be entertained by, anything like that?
Well, with the big boys, we always get pretty physical. Overall, yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
I don't want to hear that. Not a good question. Next.
Tim, what did you see in the scrimmage today?
I think we did some good things, things we got to work on. Got 2 more days to finish out the spring, have some good momentum going into the fall. Going into the summer and the fall. So, yeah, it was a good day.
That's Germie Bernard back there at the main.
It's every day in meetings. Every day we were reminded, finish strong. It's always in the notes, no matter if it's a different note or if it's a new slide.
Can y'all hear him?
It's always up there for you to take notes, so you're reminded.
This is your last day. Any sort of promotion?
I've been thinking about it, but it's just just taking it with every little grain of salt. Just appreciating the moments that I had, just appreciating the spring ball, appreciating I get to have another 8 day and stuff like that. So I'm just happy for it at the end of the day.
Do you have any thoughts about it not being a traditional game?
Kenny, you. Oh my God! Who asked that? That's my boy. That sound like Bama Central right there. That sound like him. Trying to poke the bear, trying to get some buzz. Not today, but not the last practice before A-Day. Come on, man. What's up, Noah? Welcome in, man. We welcome in our Tennessee family. What's up, Noah? Horrible question. That's my boy at Bama Central. Got to be.
Have guys kind of made plans for the summer yet in terms of getting together for workouts?
Definitely not necessarily sure, but we definitely gonna be linked up, getting our work in over the.
We did about a comment from Germie saying that Jaden Roberts was looking very good, very healthy.
Speaking on the O-line,
going up against him.
Well, I just see a big old dude trying to get me out my gap. So but, Big Jaden, it's always good work going against him, good competition. We getting each other better and whatnot, and he looking good and everything, looking real healthy, and he feeling strong.
What do you know about what he was dealing with last season? How challenging it was for him to work through it?
Well, J-Rob, he a dog, man. So he gonna find his best way to fight through it. So long as he can get through it, he got the helmet strapped up. We good to go.
So what did you see from the scrimmage?
We had some good things he had to work on, and but for the most part, we have some good momentum going into the summer. We're just trying to finish these last 2 days of spring up.
That's your third long scrimmage, I guess. How different do you see your unit from this scrimmage compared to the first one you guys had earlier in spring?
Of course, we making improvements, and it's things like everything.
Decent question.
Perfect, so got to go back to the drawing board on some things, but for the most part, I'm happy with the development of our guys, especially like, Beeman, Edric, Bernard, Keenan, Saya, Steve, all those guys.
Hey, so chat real quick before we continue. We'll go if you all want to see that. I'm going to provide the link in the chat right now. As a matter of fact, I'll provide the link in the chat. Shout out to Bama Central, man. They did some got some quality clips today. I'll get it out to y'all. We'll get it to y'all in the chat. But go check out Bama Central. They got all the interviews from today from player availability. Like I said, Germie Bernard was one of the offensive players available at the main podium. You can see him behind Tim Keenan. Going to get into his interview once it becomes available. But check this out. You heard the names that were mentioned on that defensive line, and these are guys that we knew that they were going to be like when the guys that were recruited by the Saban staff, they were coming into their freshman year last year, right? Redshirt freshman year, some of them freshman year last year, right? This group is still majority Freddie Scott's guys. Freddie Roach. I keep saying Freddie Scott. Freddie Roach guys, right? This group has an opportunity to really start to set the bar for this new scheme. This is a scheme that they weren't necessarily recruited for, right? They weren't necessarily recruited for this scheme, but their athleticism fits the mold of what this scheme desires. You're talking about a lot of gap shooting, a lot of, for the nose tackle position where Tim Keenan is still a lot of gap contained, primarily. He's a lot of times he's in a zero technique, he's in a one eye. A lot of times he's really shading he's really determining the leverage of the defense, right? And his ability to create havoc in the center is going to be key. Not just him, but guys like Steve Bowler, who's behind him, Messiah Fago, a young guy that's going to need to play some quality spot reps. But you got guys like Jeremiah Beeman, Edric Hill, Jordan Renard that could come and play that nose tackle position too. You're talking about guys that are 6'4", 285, 290, able to go across the board and really just give you quality depth across your front. And you look at these guys and you're like, man, there's no way. Yes, way. Jeremiah Beeman finally turning the corner, and he's a 300-pounder. And you can honestly, Beeman is a build that you can slide out to the bandit position if you got to go heavy and you want to go heavy across the board. Basically, take your personnel and move your bandits to the wolf, add an extra defensive lineman, making classify him as a defensive end right there. Put you an extra linebacker on the field, go to a traditional 4-3 front. You can do that with these personnel because they are multifaceted in their skill sets. But I look at that D-line rotation, even with, James Smith. James Smith has been limited in practice, right? He still is coming back, going to be 100% healthy, added to that interior rotation. He can give you some quality nose tackle reps, nose guard reps. I think he's more so a defensive tackle in this scheme, right? He's interior, but he's going to be over top of your guards. He's going to shade your guards, right? So I think this defensive line depth is going to be awesome for this team. Let's go to the next interview. I wanted to see what Jah Latham had to say, man. Old man Latham. I think Jah Latham will be 24, 25 this year. If I'm not mistaken, 24. Jah been there for a minute. If anybody we talk about Ty Simpson waiting their turn. Jah waited his turn. He been in the shadows forever. Just handling business.
Man, what did you see practice? How's practice going?
Going good. Everybody coming out here to work every day, just trying to improve our craft and, get ready to start this thing off with some workouts.
Who won the scrimmage?
Who won the scrimmage?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell. We basically just focus on going back and forth, just focusing on defense, getting the stops and seeing if the offense can put the ball in the end zone.
On a serious note, though, how much pressure did you guys do? Were you guys able to generate a pretty consistent amount of pressure, and how do you feel about that moving into the summer?
I feel like, we generated a good amount of pressure. It's still like the areas that we need to improve on, but as far as overall, I feel like we did a good job, putting pressure on the quarterback this spring.
Hey, so today, if you get any reports today that the quarterbacks lit it up, I don't believe them. I've got multiple reports that the defense really had a day to close out the spring for the scrimmage. I got a lot of reports that the secondary looked locked. Damani Jackson was down, so you had Dijon Lee playing the boundary, right? And you had Cam Calhoun, you had Xavier Brown in there at the Rover. Like it was a lot of competition, but the defense was the one really making the plays. What's a positive though is that we're continuing to hear about this run game, just big plays from each back. You know, you had a big play from AK Deer, probably against second or third team, but still, you know, guys being the offensive line depth starting to show, but the D line was really disruptive today. The D line was really disruptive. Linebackers showcasing coverage skills. I mean, you guys know that we're limited with our tight end, so that might play a factor in it. But you know, this offensive skill, this philosophy isn't foreign to running four wide receiver sets. So I could just imagine. Of course, we don't give away like formations and stuff, but when you see matchups like, you know, Germie Bernard, Cam Calhoun, Isaiah Horton, Cam Calhoun, like that's telling you something about, you know, what this offense is trying to do as far as mix things up with formations. And then Jalen Hale, you know, getting his, I can't talk offense yet. I don't want to get into it. But defensive line was very productive today. It sounds like everything I'm getting from reports is that the defense really won today. And that's not to say that the quarterbacks played bad. You probably just didn't have a lot of scoring plays. The defense probably, you know, from what I'm hearing is the defense just was continuing to get stops. It wasn't like that they were, you know, forcing turnovers. You know, sacks was a big thing today. The O-line struggled early in today's scrimmage and on all levels. You know, and then you think about it, sometimes it's like that in games too, where the defense just comes out on fire, and then you get into the latter parts of the game where you're running your 50th and your 55th and your 60th snap, and your legs are starting to feel it. I think that's what tends to happen sometimes in these scrimmages, with familiarity being a factor and in place, and then the offense being limited. I think that played a factor, but the defense definitely took advantage of the day. And I think if you ask me, all my reports, y'all know I don't tell no lies. The defense really had a day today.
I mean, he showed a lot of improvement since he's been here. He's going to be a great player for us in the future.
What are your, I guess, best memories from A-Days of the best?
I mean, I wouldn't say I really
To take the field at.
I mean, anytime I go into Bryant-Denny, it's always a pleasure, you know, just to be around the fans, you know, just to be able to step into that crimson uniform and go out there and perform in front of the people that love to watch us play.
Will it feel different without being, say, a set game and more of a...
See, they keep trying to pick the, like, chat, can I vent for like 2 seconds, please? And I'm not sure what this camera angle gonna look like, so I'm gonna switch to this one first. Chat, I want to vent for like 2 seconds. I want to vent for like 2 seconds, chat. I just need y'all to hear me out for like 2 seconds, okay? Now, I have an issue with this team reported. I know there's not a lot to kind of discuss today. We know that today's scrimmage was probably basically a live walkthrough. A lot of instruction, not a lot of instruction. I feel like they probably allowed the guys to be a lot more free in today's scrimmage with the control, trying to keep guys up, trying not to lose guys, trying to limit the possibility of injuries. But getting good work in is all that matters, where you're seeing guys develop. And I think that's what's happened this spring. I don't think the players are mad. I don't think any player is mad about not being able to play in a fake game. Right, because most of their evaluation doesn't even happen on A-Day. Like the evaluation leading up to A-Day is what plays majority role as far as a guy's depth chart position, right? Or where he's going to fit in the scheme going forward. So for the team reporters to continue to pick and be like, what's your thoughts on it not being a regular game? I don't think these kids really care. I don't think these young men really care. And I think the coaches are even more happier. That's why they made the decision. So you as a fan to have an issue with it or And I don't even think a lot of fans have an issue with it anymore. I think it's these old school team reporters who have been carried over from the Saban era. And I'm speaking on this, my opinion. Get mad if you want to. That's just me. It's my opinion. I know somebody's going to is going to happen, but my thing is this: nobody cares. It's been the decision been made. You know, you had people come out last year to A-Day. It was fun. You know, we had injuries. Jaden Roberts had an injury. Jam Miller got injured last year. You know, Germie Bernard took a crazy hit. Malachi Moore trying to protect Germie. You know, shoulder stinger. And we come, Jalen Milroe, you know, pulling a hammy. All of these small nicks and knacks. And then we get over into the season. And when it's time to go, you know, and guys are getting hurt early in the season, we're trying to blame the strength and conditioning program. Well, let's now I think they probably learned from that. So that's just my 2 cents on it. So reporters, shut up. Please stop asking the same question. These kids are happy just to be at the University of Alabama. That's one thing I do appreciate about this group of guys. A lot of humble mindsets when it comes to having the opportunity to represent the Crimson Tide. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. Let's get Parker Brailsford up, chat. I want to hear what he had to say about the offense. He and Germie Bernard representing the offense today. So let's see what Parker had to say. Alabama starting center, Parker Brailsford. See what he had to say.
It was good. Both sides of the ball competed.
That boy said it was good.
It's good to get out there and see the guys like work and get better throughout spring ball. So, I mean, it's good to see what we've done and to see guys grow.
Shout out to the big 77 in the chat. Make sure y'all run the like up in the chat, man.
First one early in the spring.
Got 30 in the chat on YouTube, 47 in the chat on Twitter.
But I mean, I feel like we've shown some really good things, and I mean, we're starting to figure out the things that we're good at and things that we need to keep working on. And yeah.
Obviously, it's not ideal having a lot of injuries, but with some of the injuries we'll have on the offensive line, has it been good for some of the younger guys to kind of get experience throughout the spring and plug guys in different spots?
Yeah, definitely. Some of the younger guys are starting to step up. Just starting to see some promising things from some of the guys, you know. But yeah.
What have you seen from the left guard spot?
Sorry?
Left guard. What have you seen from the guys that have been playing there?
I mean, I've said this to the media before, but it don't really matter who they put in there. It always feels the same. Like Gino's a smart guy, Cam's a smart guy. I mean, they're both doing really good in spring ball, and I mean, yeah, I'm excited just to see that battle and see who wins that.
At what point, as a center, do you want to see kind of a starting five established so that you guys can kind of develop a chemistry together as kind of a solid group?
You know, it takes time. Like, you definitely got to see like who the guys are that are willing to do it and willing to strain and things like that. But you know, I mean, it's not going to be decided during spring ball. We're just still trying to figure it out. I mean, even as like a whole line, whether it be with the walk-ons or twos, threes, ones, we're all pretty tight. So,
how much time does it take? Like once you kind of are established, you're like, okay, this is. Like, how much time do you need to be like, okay, this is the starting group, this is our core group to develop chemistry? How long does that take?
I mean, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's different, obviously. Some groups it's a little faster than others, but I mean, like I said, it don't really matter when it's between the ones, twos, or threes, or even the walk-ins. Like we're all a close group. Now I feel comfortable with all those guys. So the chemistry's there with everybody.
A bunch of coaches emphasize this spring finishing games is something maybe that wasn't to the level you wanted to last season.
I mean, it's definitely been an emphasis like the whole time. Like even I mean, last year's an emphasis too, but even throughout like winter workouts and beginning of spring ball and things like that, fourth quarter for sure. We definitely emphasize that a lot. And I mean, I'm not saying it's any different than last year, but I will say guys have like bought into it more, just, like been intentional about finishing and doing things like that.
LT said that you guys, like the transfers that came in last year, maybe found their voice a little bit more, or stepping up and putting your foot down when guys are kind of out of line. Do you see that, like the guys that are in?
Yes, for sure. Guys, I mean, it's hard, like transferring. I mean, everybody's dealing with it, like all across the country. I mean, there's a lot of transfers right now, and I mean, it's hard to come into a new place that you've never been to, and like guys that you don't know and try and lead. So I mean, a year under my belt and a year under those guys' belt, like LT, Germ. I mean, even some of the new transfers are starting to talk. But I think it's been real good getting that year under my belt, just so I feel comfortable like talking to the guys and I have a relationship with the guys.
Along those lines,
That's smart, man. I appreciate that. You know, you could come in, yeah, they told me to come and all this, but I don't think we had a group of transfers like that last year. And you saw that, you know, Germie Bernard impactful, Parker Brailsford impactful. Who else was a transfer that came in and was impactful? We had any more offensive linemen? Gino Vanderbark towards the end of the season was very impactful. Defensively, Keon Sapp, huge impact. Damani Jackson, huge impact. I mean, everything else, we literally had it on roster last year. So, if for people to think LT Overton, like I said, impactful transfer. Who else was the other transfer? It was one more on defense. I feel like we had two big transfers on defense. Deshaun Jones played some quality minutes, had some big minutes, some big snaps. So everything else on roster was developed and kind of schemed into development from for this Alabama roster. Okay, I got the Germie Bernard press conference. Let's jump to that one. Yeah, appreciate you there, Aaron. Shout out to my guy, man. I just got the email, so let's go ahead and look that up. I'm gonna get that up for y'all real quick, chat. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. 110 play scrimmage today. Let me see. I'm gonna share this, present this. All right, let's get the Germie Bernard interview up, y'all. Check this out. I got us right here.
Man, it was great. We're improving each and every scrimmage. We've been out there playing relentless. I think there's always room to grow. So we're just gonna watch the film, reevaluate, and come out better
and
for the next
emojis
practice.
for official audio and video. Shout out to Bama Central. Appreciate their
I think it's just the consistency with the play calling and
What's up, Rondo? Good to see you, man.
Understanding the new system and bringing that every day to the field, and trying to
Jefferson
lead
was in his
as,
second year. This will
one
be his
of the
third year
number
at
one
Bama.
QBs. So I just like the consistency I see out of each and every one of them, and the growth.
Don't he look like young
they
Randy?
come into
Don't he look like
each and
young
every
Randy?
practice. They have a growth mindset, and it shows in practice.
Ain't tall enough, but he definitely look.
Kind of surfacing now.
Mhm.
What should we expect from him?
Yeah, he's gonna be great for us, man. He's came in and he's grown a lot. He still has a lot to learn. But we also have other young guys that are also, making plays, and I think we just overall have a great receiver core, and I think that is something that's gonna help this offense go.
Who are some of those other young guys that are kind of stepped up a little bit?
Man, like Derek Meadows, Rico Scott, Jalen Hill.
Chat, this is coming from Germie Bernard. Y'all remember what I was talking about the other day? Listen to the names, y'all. I love y'all. Everybody that rock with me for real, that'll be listening. When I say stuff, y'all want to know the truth? Wait for these player interviews to come around. Y'all want to get fed the truth and really know if I'm on the right track? Wait till these player interviews come around. On every level. Tell y'all, man. I love my youngest, bro. I love them Bama boys. They really rock with your boy on a different level.
I can't name all of them on the top of my head, but I feel like everyone in our receiver room is producing.
Do you feel like this receiver group is more maybe complete in terms of different skill sets than you've had maybe just the last year, just in terms of maybe not even talent, but just people that can do different things?
I mean, we had a great receiver room last year. I think we had a lot of guys that can stretch the field, a lot of guys that can make contested catches, a lot of guys that can block, and I feel like that we have the same within this group. Coach Shep, he kind of coaches everybody, not completely the same, but he has a standard for each and every one of us, and we have a group standard that we all withhold.
What is Isaiah?
Man, I mean, obviously we see the length that he brings. He has great natural hands. He has great speed. He can stretch the field. He can make contested catches. So I mean, it's gonna be good for the offense. I mean, we have another weapon that can go out there and ball, and plus he has experience within the game. So he has a lot of IQ and he has a good feel for the game. It's been fun. It definitely has been fun. Just being able to see some of the young guys go out there and fly around and make plays. Being able to help them out while I'm out there as well. Help them, give them some advice with whatever they need, and they really.
All right, so I'm gonna read this before we continue into his interview. So today the offense, like I said, did not have a strong day, but a lot of improvement from second group guys. Like Richard Young had a big day, a strong day in the run game. Daniel Hill had a big day in the run game. Offensive lineman had a big day. Arkel Anugwam had a good day. Olis Aladine, Wilkin Formby, Rock Montgomery. Guys had big days on, like, we're showcasing consistency, showcasing like growth, creating quality reps for themselves. Isaiah Horton continued to win in reps, win reps in ones. Going to be a one-on-one matchup problem. What else? I'm just trying to catch up on the group text, y'all. I don't be like I ain't gonna read y'all everything that's said. It get kind of crazy in here. Yeah. Luke Metz, Noah Carter. I guess they made big plays against like the second and third team. Yazi Pierre, Quay Rousseau was limited today, I guess. Justin Hill and Yazi Pierre seem to have gotten a lot of wolf reps. Awesome, man. Awesome. So those are some of the things that I was getting from practice today. And like I said, a lot of times when there's defense, when defense wins today, you could tell when defense wins today because there's not a lot of conversation coming out of the, from on the message boards. There's not a lot of hype. They don't want to expose that Ty Simpson might have had a bad day, right? I can't confirm that. I don't think, to me, if defense had a big day, but there wasn't a lot of turnovers, right? I mean, that to me, that's good. That means you don't have quarterbacks making bad decisions. A few drop passes from the second and third group. Defensive pass rush was there, so the O-line, first group O-line, had to take a little adjustment period. But apparently we have a 110 play scrimmage, so I'm gonna get
really
some more
questions. And that's what I really like about them. They
more
ask
information on that chat.
That's what they can get better at. They have a growth mindset and they want to learn and get better.
How unusual is it going up against a Deshaun Lee, just in terms of you don't see very many 6'4" corners.
Yeah, he has tremendous length, so that's what kind of makes him different, like a Jalen Ramsey type. And he has a good feel for the game as well. He came in as a freshman, but he's playing like he's an older guy. So, he's going to have a bright future, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do this season. Man, just I was just say more so of the line of scrimmage. They got long arms, so that they are able.
I was going to say that long arms,
but
5-on-5 matchup is good to watch in practice
down
too,
the field. He has good length, so the jump ball he can go and he could attack the ball.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times with freshmen,
exactly.
Maybe the physicality.
What's good, chat? 99 in the chat. Y'all run the likes up in the stream, man. 34 on YouTube, 65 on Twitter. Y'all continue to run the likes up, man.
I mean, I feel like the freshmen that came in, they all physical, to be honest. Coming in,
started.
Coach Ballou has a
Smitty,
standard
welcome
of,
in, man. Make sure you like the
being,
stream and
like,
subscribe
tough
to the channel, man.
and
Welcome
having
in.
pride, and I feel like they came with that mindset, and they kind of know what it takes, to be here at Bama. And I mean, they obviously visited here before they came and decided to come to
Me
Bama,
too,
so
Sully.
they know what it's
For the
about. And
coaching.
I feel like they was able to bring it this spring.
You kind of split 50-50 last year between slot and Z. Do you have a preference? And then also, how much playing bouncing around like that kind of helped both areas of your game?
Yeah, I don't really have a preference. I like playing inside and out. It gives me more opportunities to, make plays. I mean, when you have an understanding of the offense, it kind of helps you be diverse. And like I said, it gets you in more opportunities to, catch the ball or get other guys open.
I'm not doing this with y'all today at all. I'm not doing this with y'all today. Zach, Jordan, I'm not doing this with y'all today. Don't even, I could feel somebody's on their phone typing right now. Delete it. Right now. Delete it. You can put a laughing face emoji if you want to. That's it. But delete. No messages. Delete it.
They should watch everything. Our practices are very intense, so it kind of simulates the game in a way. We're not going to be live, but it's going to be some intensity. It's going to be some thudding, guys making plays. It's not going to really be a fall off from the live period. I mean, that's the only thing that we're missing, really. But other than that, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to have another practice and get better as a team. Not necessarily. I mean, we just come out and we compete. I mean, everything really is fun to watch because we're always competing.
I just want y'all to see it. I got a text and said, watch the full Germie Bernard interview, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm reacting
really
live.
Too many to name. I can't lie. We got some ballers, man. We really do. So I'll tell them this: look at the freshman roster that came in, and pay attention to all of them.
Just going off that, what you're saying there is a receiver that could potentially get a surprise and this offensive group.
Yeah, I would say Isaiah Horton, Nasir Brooks, Rico Scott, all the receiver core. To be honest, our main focus as a receiver core is being as diligent as we can. Our offense is very detailed, and Coach Shep, he really harps on that, and blocking as well. Because I mean, you block.
Hey. I'm glad we finally heard it, chat. We finally got it. Blocking. I need Hollywood in practice. Working on that blocking, chat. And you know what's crazy? When Ryan Williams is blocking, he's a good blocker. But when he ain't trying, it shows. Because he's not going to overpower many DBs, linebackers, whatever. He's just smart. He's a smart player. Even in that facet of the game, we gotta get a lot more consistent blocking from our wide receivers this year for this offense to really reach its full capacity. Go watch offense of highlights from Washington under Kalen DeBoer and that staff in 2022, 2023. Go watch the wide receiver blocking on the perimeter.
The coaching staff is going to want to get you the ball. So just being selfless. No doubt. Most definitely. We got all the attributes in the room. Everybody can do everything. We got a lot of speed. We got a lot of strength. We got guys that can block. We got guys that can make contested catches. We got guys that are tough. We got guys that get open.
Last two.
When you think of
So rude.
is there like a handful of guys that come to mind? Like, who, when you think of what Alabama could be at its peak in terms of wide receiver, like, are there, certain names that come to mind that, okay, this is why we're going to be the best?
Everyone.
You see, you want me to tell you why he can't answer that question? Because then it makes it seem like he's picking a guy in the room. If you're talking to a player that's working next to another player, right? So the easiest way to get them to unveil something around their position is to be like, I would say, if I'm trying to find out who's the next man up behind Germie, we've seen Germie, we've seen Ryan. We're in question about Rico. We're in question about Jalen. We're in question about Isaiah, right? So with Isaiah Horton on the roster this year, what's the adjustment as far as your role? Have you seen an adjustment in your role? And what does that adjustment look like? And what does a personnel grouping with you and him on the field together look like? So now it forces him to think and kind of ramble on, and before he can naturally stop himself from letting us know, we can find out if he and Isaiah Horton are on the field at the same time. Not only that, what he's done from last year compared to last year, and what we got to see from him last year compared to this year. That's all I'm saying, man. And now he can't ghost you like that on the question.
Explosive, very explosive.
That's it. That's the last two questions. That's what we use our last two shots on. Them questions right there. Great job, Bama Media coverage team reporter. I like y'all. Rock on, rock out. Back to our segment though. Where we at? The 49-minute mark. So let's kind of digest a lot of things that I just reported to you all about my reports from practice. I'm telling y'all, we've been very accurate on a lot of the findings, especially when it came to like the young guys kind of showing up and showing out. I think more so from a standpoint of seeing the young guys like names like Justin Hill, second year guys like QB Reese, first year guys like Abdul Sanders, who else on that defensive side? Dijon Lee coming in and making a name for himself. Ivan Taylor, we seen the clip that's kind of getting some attention where he's getting some coaching. They coaching him up a little bit. Like stuff like that matters at this point in the season. So as we get into it, my defensive standpoint, and this is my final digest. After this final digest, we're going to open the phone lines. You all can get on the phone lines and start calling. As a matter of fact, the phone line is open right now. So if somebody wants to call in right now and be that first caller, we'll have you on hold. And once we get that person on, I'll make sure I announce it. Go ahead and call into the show. But my final digest on what this team's development looked like this offseason. Hold on, let me get the other screen up for the call in. There we go. So my final digest. This is my final digest, chat, and I want y'all to understand one thing. We don't have a moment in time right now where Alabama is lacking. Right? We don't have a space in time where Alabama is lacking as far as the talent on roster. Last year, a lot of unknowns with so much that exited, that exited the roster from last year. We don't have the question of, do we have enough talent this year? It's obvious. And so we have our first caller on the line. We're going to keep them on hold. Caller, stay on the line, and I hopefully you can hear me. Stay on the line, and we'll get you on here in a second. But defensively, this is probably going to be the most talented depth team we've seen across the board, from defensive line across the front, bandit to wolf, left to right, linebacker position, the inside linebacker position, the physicality, the speed, the range, the cover. I think we finally have a full rotational personnel grouping, and assets that can really do what this defense is going to require, is going to be needed, right? Guys that can get out and decipher the run game. You know, guys that can get out in coverage in second and some third phase. We gotta get all these hybrid guys in the inside room. We got to get them active. So not having Justin Jefferson and Deontay Lawson available this spring was very intricate in the development of guys like QB Reese and Abdul Sanders Jr. Then you get a senior guy transfer in you get a senior transfer in the Kyle Green, right? That's a quality guy, man. Coming in and a physical guy. Find ball, get ball. Urban Essence, what's good? Good to see you, sis. But I'm telling y'all right now, defensively, we already have been hearing about the secondary. I don't think we need to continue on about the secondary. From top to bottom, that is a quality group. You got Damani Jackson, you know, another guy that's kind of been able to dial it back because of the quality of production and the good looks that you're getting from the guys behind him, right? You get to see guys like Dijon Lee take advantage of, man, what if he gets thrown out there in a Saturday? He had to do it today. Wade's World is in the building. Wade's World, what are your wristband, man? Get that man a wristband, chat. So defensively, I think the highlight of the defense is going to be that defensive front this year. That bandit position, just to be particular. I think just that front three, it's really a 3 defensive lineman front with the linebacker being the 4th defensive lineman at the wolf position, lining up in that wide 9 technique, right? Providing the pass rush, the speed on the edge. Secondary is going to be great. Ball hawk, no fly zone. I like what I'm getting from this team thus far defensively as far as development. Offensively, we're going to have the conversation about the quarterback battle. I'm going to tell you right now, QB1, Ty Simpson, QB2. And this is what it's going to read on the depth chart. It's going to be like it's supposed to be. QB1, Simpson, QB2, Mac, QB3. When I promise you, when we come into this fall, because there will be 2 scrimmages in the fall. After that first scrimmage and they put out that first initial depth chart, I guarantee you be QB1, QB2, Keelan Russell, and then QB3. And if I had to put a guess on QB1 right now, based off of the last few reports, the last scrimmage where he kind of struggled off early but had some big plays and then kind of just finished strong. Ty Simpson continuing to stay consistent. Austin Mack was the one that kind of struggled early on and then came back on to the, you know, came back into a positive side to end the scrimmage. Keelan Russell consistently getting better. Not giving the big explosive plays, not forcing plays, but taking what the defense is giving him, using his legs when he has to, extending plays, creating quality reps for himself to say, hey, I'm solid enough to be patient and learn this playbook and still showcase my skill set, right? So the quarterback battle, I think, is fairly decided right now that Ty Simpson will come into the fall as QB1. But that's not much to say when you have a day like today when all the quarterbacks across the board struggled, quote unquote struggled, and you couldn't separate yourself when the other quarterbacks were struggling, you know? So that's what I say about this quarterback competition. You can't be the leader and be performing at the same level, at the same rate, consistency rate as the guys that's supposed to be behind you and say that you have the lead. I think he's doing just as good as the other guys. And because of his seniority, because of his veteran experience and his time in the program, there's no other reason to not have him listed as the starter. You know, Austin Mack's development this offseason has been, great. Has been great from a mechanic standpoint. You know, I can't really speak on what's been happening every play in every scrimmage, but from what I did get to see in person, he was very comfortable. And you all heard the reports, Austin Mack wowing the staff at this scrimmage. Like, all of these reports came out after I came out and was, you get what I'm saying? So we're consistent with our reporting, and it's because we've done our research, we've done our due diligence to network, and people give us the truth. So we continue to hear about the wide receiver group, this wide receiver room. I love the depth, and the name that we haven't been hearing about is Jalen Mbakwe. You know, I've been high on Rico Scott, Jalen Hill. I think Jalen Mbakwe is going to have 4 or 5 big plays early on in the season to where when he touches the field, they're going to want to scheme for watch him. He's going to get attention. Tight end room, we know the injuries that's happening there. You got Jay Lindsey trying to take advantage of some opportunities. Can he create some quality development and depth for himself while everybody else in front of him is out. And you got the walk-ons backing you up. Peyton Fox is out there backing you up. You know, that's the guy that's quote-unquote pushing you. You're the only scholarship tight end on the roster. Take advantage of it. Create some value for yourself. And then, of course, the offensive line and running back room. We know these two groups probably are the most, I want to say, underutilized or most capped group from last year's phase of this offensive transition. I think this is the year. Looking at the depth in both positions, the left tackle position, we figuring it out with Caden Parker being back. The quality competition between Arkel Anguam and Will Sanders, right behind Proctor. We know Proctor is going to have the skill set. He's dropped some weight. Left guard position, we know that that's going to be a quality competition. We heard, and just so y'all know that I don't be capping, this is the roster that we had set up, and I'm gonna go to it right now. Let me log into it. This is the roster that the depth chart that we had set up, and then we're gonna get to our phone call here in 2 minutes. Phone caller, be ready in 2 minutes. Get ready to introduce yourself. All right. All right, here we go. We got at the left guard position. I'm sharing this right here. Is it sharing for y'all? Look at, if y'all remember in the interview what they said about they asked Parker Brailsford about the left guard position, right? This is our roster. This is how we set our roster up. The names he said, Geno Vanderbark and Cam Dewberry. He was excited to see how that battle shapes out. I kind of was alluding to this Rock Montgomery being the backup center position because of his experience in the system, right? His experience in the system, plus played some center in high school. But I like this competition with Dewberry and Vandermark because now that lets me know that they have some solid guys that they're willing to say, okay, Hayden Proctor's not doing it for us here. We got a quality competition there to where if we got to pull them for reps or to get healthy all the way, we got that. So quality depth at that position, and you all know the plethora of running backs that we have available. Jan Miller, Richard Young having another big day. Daniel Hill having another big day. Dre Washington, number 20. When you see that little bowling ball on the field, you know it. He does not fall backwards. Kevin Riley, the scat back, and AK Deer continue to be challenged in spring. He's going to have to earn it. They are pushing him to the limit. They are challenging him, and he is loving it. You talking about players that want to be great, Najee Harris type mindset, where you know you're just as good as everybody else in the room, but you're getting challenged and told that you got to get better. Not that you're not good enough, but you need to get better. AK Deer is relishing that. I love that about nephew, man. I love that about him. So, getting into the phone lines, man. Chat, if y'all are feeling the vibes right now, run the likes up on the stream as we get ready to get into the phone lines here on the Coach Smook Network. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm here. Let me get y'all in the game, man. Here we go.
You talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Yo, what's up? You're in the game. Say your name.
Living in Phoenix, Arizona.
What's up, Tobias? Man, Tobias, welcome in, man. Glad to have you on. How you feeling today?
Good. Yeah, my handle's T. Smitty. I was the one that put that Ryan Grubb chat in there.
Okay, T. Smitty. T. Smitty's in the game chat. Welcome, T. Smitty, to the chat, man. Welcome, T. Smitty, to the phone line. T. Smitty, you in the game. Talk to me, man. What's your thoughts today, man?
First thing first, the reason I put that about Ryan Grubb is sometimes some things may come as a blessing. So now he's not going to be an NFL OC anytime soon. There's no knock on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he most likely won't be a head coach. Hey, and depends on that special job opens up, right? So now you're going to have this guy for a couple of years, and he's not going to be sniffing around for the next opportunity or the next NFL opportunity. Because as we know, the NFL is not for long. you know?
Right.
Yeah, they fired him and they went 10-7, and the quarterback put up numbers.
Right.
So,
right.
So, and I like the way the staff set up that. Yes, the coordinators will be involved in recruiting. They'll talk to the players, But look at the staff they assembled to get this talent, and the talent wants to be here.
Right.
That's something right there, Coach. They want to be here because they had plenty of time to leave, and these guys want to be here, man. And that's something when the people talk about culture. And you're seeing also, Coach, anybody with a brain knew the first year, okay, in-state won't be there recruiting-wise, relationships. But look what happens in a year of relationships. Look at what happened.
1 year, Tobias. And you know what? Even Saban, with his extensive SEC ties from LSU, had to come into the state of Alabama and really establish himself between 2007 and 2009. And he did that with his first recruiting class. If we're looking at following the model that everybody swear was just a success and was the only way to do it, we are literally on track doing that. If you look at the in-state, we didn't win it this year. Like Auburn got a lot of those guys. You know, Yellowwood, whatever his name is, got the money. He throwing it out there to a lot of these players. He's getting down to Mobile. He's getting those guys. He's coming down to Selma, getting those guys, you know, going up to Birmingham, trying to turn those guys. But the staff, we're getting the gems in the state of Alabama. We're getting the guys that want to be at Alabama, and it's showing with the results of last year. You know, all of the problems we had to deal with last year, and you go and get some quality in-state guys. You keep some in-state guys on this roster. You're retaining in-state guys on this roster that are quality guys that are going to continue to create value for this team. So I like what the staff is doing. Tobias, I got a question for you, man. All the reports we've been hearing about this defense, man, to hear about this secondary and their performance, but just one name in particular, Dejon Lee. I've been very high on this young man. Give me your thoughts on just the reports surrounding he and any other freshman that you've possibly been hearing about.
With Dejon Lee, right? Well, I heard that he's a 6'3", 6'4" corner with hips. Who got fluid hips. So, like, why not take him? I don't care if he's from California. You got to throw the ball over this guy, and that's going to be hard. That means your quarterback has to be pinpoint accurate against a guy like that. He doesn't grow on trees every day, and he's already making an impact now. That's somebody I like. I like the Justin Hill kid because you can't have too many edge guys. And that's another kid who wants to be here. And the thing about this staff that's different than the last one, these young guys are getting in the game. The only way to get experience is playing. I don't care if it's 10 snaps. That's something that I like about this staff. Yes, they took like Savion Brown and took his lumps last year. But at the midway point, end of the year, he was a daggum good lockdown cornerback, you know?
100%, man. And that's what I try to tell people. Your quality development comes with the live reps. Even if you're not getting thrown at, you know, it could be a play where you might have reached too hard and the receiver gets you on that one. And you can learn from that. The good ones learn from those small things. And I think that's what's happening with this freshman class. A name that I want you to keep an eye on is Abdul Sanders Jr. in that inside linebacker room. That young man, and I had somebody come in on and comment, they don't see it, but I see it. I remember being in college and watching, getting to go to those Bama practices when we would do our cross. You know, basically we would go and practice at the facility or whatever, and watching guys like Rolando McClain go through drills and some of the things that they did, you know, to prepare themselves on the field and off the field. And I see a lot of those characteristics in this inside linebacker room with Abdul Sanders Jr., but also a big name that I was telling everybody check out for to be a second year, third year, like just burst on the scene guy, QB Reese.
Oh, yeah.
They say he's undersized, but he's filled out that frame. He's pushing that 230 range and has not lost a step. My thing with him, if we had a second coming of Reuben Foster, it'll be QB Reese. He does not have a sense of bearing when it comes to physicality and making contact in the, on the defensive side. Offense, man, what you excited about with this offense?
I'm actually excited that they'll run a traditional offense. And I'll say this real quick, kind of ties in. When you talk about the quarterbacks, right, that game the defense won, I want folks to think about this. That Auburn game where Bryce Young, he won the game at the end. That defense was cooking Alabama's line, but he didn't turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. You didn't hear, like you said, you didn't hear about turnovers because sometimes the defense is going to win. But if you don't turn the ball over, it gives you a chance.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest, though. This may be the most talented team Bama had since they won their last national championship.
I would say, Tobias, I would say before this, even that 2020 team was awesome. But I think the 2017 team was the most talented on roster. You know, just names on roster. That's before Waddle got there, right? It's that freshman year of Ruggs. Just names on roster, talent from top to bottom, just names. That was the most talented team to ever come through Alabama.
Yep. And you know what? And like the thing is, the receiver corps. This might be the best receiver corps we had in some years, and that includes under everybody's daddy Saban. Because, you know, and I'm just being real, because the development wasn't there, and you seen what the receivers who transferred where they ended up at. They didn't go to Ohio State or Georgia. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They ain't knocking those kids. Hey, get your scholarship, get your NIL, get your education. I ain't knocking them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the talent is there. And if I'm advisor in a young talent offense, be patient, because I think Isaiah Horton's one and done. You know, I think he has an NFL future in him.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what happens is that you got let's say this real quick, Coach. 9-4 is a really good first year for a first-year coach. First-year coaches don't win 9 games after all that transition. Things are going to be clunky. But this year, you got your system. You got a coordinator who's ready for that position. And Grubb, you probably got a different type of quarterback that fits your system. And your running backs can run a traditional run game. That's what they make better in. And let's be real. We're going to have better receivers, and I bet there will be more receivers than Ryan Williams and Germie Bernard taking notes in practice.
Oh, yeah.
So,
oh, yeah.
You know, yeah. And the offensive line is going to round into shape, because let's be real. Wilkin Formby should not have been playing last year, because, you know, offensive line is a development position. And it's not for the young. But he got better towards the end of the year. And I think what people got to understand, this offense is going to be a good offense. You got a lot of good talent there. And to be honest, it's just about the quarterback not making mistakes and turning the ball over. Because you know this, Coach. Great quarterback play is actually not the flashiest play in the world. It's about consistency.
Yes.
Putting the ball where it needs to go on time. And I think Ty Simpson should start the season. Because it's kind of a way to say, hey, guys, if you stick around, you'll get your shot. But if he falters, then you got to go the other direction. Get what I'm saying?
And that's, you know what, Tobias, I think people need to realize that, like, this is not Ty's job to, like, hang over like Jalen Milroe was able to last year. That was a transition year. You're trying to keep the boat. You're trying to keep the ship afloat. And so with my point in that saying that is, if Ty Simpson was ready to keep the ship afloat, they would have gave him the opportunity last year. Right. So if he couldn't, if they didn't feel confident enough to keep the ship afloat, I think they have a little bit more confidence seeing how he was able to learn how to keep the ship afloat and then come into this spring and just be consistent. Not that he's been so much better than everybody in that room, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if the numbers came out, he would, and you just threw the numbers out there, you picked the best numbers, they wouldn't go to him. Just being honest. Touchdown passes to interception ratio wouldn't go to him. The completion percentage is not the number one in that room right now, right? So if it just was based off of that, there is more that factors into him needing to have that opportunity. And I think him starting, having that opportunity to start against Florida State, first week 1 against Florida State, is going to be that window. He's got to seize that moment then, because if he leaves it open, they're going to allow Austin Mack to get an opportunity, because their thing is, we just want to know who's going to be the quarterback that Keelan Russell backs up. That's what they're going to try to figure out in week 2, between week 1 and week 3. That's what it is, bro. Who is Keelan Russell going to back up? That's it. It's not about who's the starter. To be honest, who's Keelan Russell going to back up?
Yep, because here's the thing. I say this before I run. Thanks for taking my call, as always.
For sure. And I was just about to say, man, we got people calling in. I think you got, you know what, Tobias, before you say this, man, I appreciate you for revamping the phone line energy, man. We've been waiting to get back to this stage of the year. Last year when the network kicked off in May, the phone lines was hot. It's off season. Everybody wants to be heard. I'm glad you're getting into that zone. But go ahead, man. Final thoughts, and then we're going to open that phone line back up.
Yeah, I'll say this. People, like right now, Ty Simpson is Mac Jones, in my opinion. He's because we knew Bryce Young was better. But, hey, let's give Mac a shot. Mac hung on to the job. He played well. And, hey, we ain't got to throw a freshman quarterback into the wolves, because no coach really want to throw a true freshman out there. They would like for him to sit because the speed of the game is different. But hey, if it becomes that Keenan is the best option, if Ty ain't cutting it or off the Mac, you got to roll with him because I'd rather take, if you're going to take lumps, I'd rather take your lumps with the true freshman with the talent. But hey, thanks for taking my call. I know you get to other people.
All
And
right,
I'll chime
man.
in again soon.
Roll Tide, Tobias, and appreciate you for
Roll
calling in, man.
Roll Tide.
Yes, that guy Tobias. Appreciate T. Smitty for calling in, man. Hey, that's the type of energy we want to bring to the show, man. Y'all call in. Phone line is open. Give me your thoughts, man. What are you all expecting from this team going into the fall? We're getting into, let's see, Mary J, give me a reminder in the private chat on the hour and 20 mark for the do the depth chart. We're gonna do our depth chart. Got another caller on the line. Y'all know who it is.
Zach Willie. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Yo, Zach, what's up, man? You in the game? Talk to me, brother.
What's going good, Coach Smook?
Man, nothing much, man. I seen you called in first, but you know we got to let some guests get in and get acquainted because we about to crank this phone segment back up this off season. You know how we do.
Oh yeah. You good? I ended up having to hang up because I had to deal with 2 dogs that were misbehaving.
Yeah, man. So what's your thoughts today, Zach? Talk to me, man.
Oh man, I'm excited for this A-Day game, even though I might not get to go this year. Some things came up to where I might not get to go, but hopefully maybe, but we'll see Saturday. But yeah, I'm excited because I know the quarterback battle's been exciting. Ty has been competing, which Ty has been performing better than what I expected Ty to perform this spring. And not saying he couldn't do it. I'm just saying with the kind of competition that he was going up against led me to believe he wouldn't be right there in the mix with them at this point in time.
Right. And I think people need to understand this too. Like, I think a tight quarterback competition is exactly what Ty needs to solidify if he should be the guy. He needs a tight competition. I don't think it's a good look initially, you know, for the mental from based off what I've been able to evaluate from him. But I really want this young man to just get us back to a space of having an explosive offense while this defense is thriving. Defenses have they so traditionally in college football, in the game of football as a whole, you have a time and space where a phase of your product is going to remain dominant. I think Kane Womack's defensive product, his defensive product is going to be dominant. It's going to be something that the rest of college football begins to resource and kind of feed off of to combat this space game that the offense utilizes. We already see that Kalen DeBoer's offensive philosophy, the vertical pass concept, has been already widespread, and he's making adjustments to how this is his style is being called for this offense, right? The phases and the philosophies of what can be dominant only have a certain window. Ty Simpson needs to be the jump start. He has an opportunity to be the jump start of how these two systems combining, offensive and defensively, these philosophies combining, can set a new wave of dominance at the college level, to where no matter what traditional schemes that are currently established, they don't provide the same resistance or production against or for these philosophies that's come together at Alabama. So if Ty Simpson can be that guy, which I know for a fact he's smart enough, he knows coverages, he knows how to get into his reads, go through his progressions, all of that, has the arm talent, can make everything on the field separate, be consistent. Let's see what Ty can do, because I'm telling you, if he does not do it, this job is not going back to him. It's not going back. If Austin Mack gets the opportunity, they are ready to call plays for him. He has a few more assets that Ty does not have. Keelan Russell, I keep telling y'all, they're just trying to figure out who's Keelan Russell going to back up. He will be QB2 listed on that depth chart.
Right. And and whoever is wins the starting job, whether it's Kyle, whether it's Austin, if one of them mess up and give Keelan the opportunity, Keelan will go in there and make it to where it would be hard for the coaching staff to take him off the field.
Right.
And so, this is a good problem to have, but at the same time, we just need somebody that's going to be willing to step up and make this offense elite like we thought it would be last year. You know, to a different standard last year, but still, and don't get me wrong, we still had a good offense.
Yeah.
Where as inconsistent as we still had a good offense, but we had the capability of being a top 5 offense last year, but we just didn't capitalize on that.
100%, Zach. So coming into this thing, man, defensively, man, I think we're in a good spot. What's your thoughts on the defense? And then we're going to get into our segment about this depth chart. I really want to get this done for the family today, the community today. But give me your full breakdown of everything that you feel about this defense, man, what everything's going to look like, even the coaching staff. Just give me your thoughts on the defense, Zach. Let everybody hear it.
Oh, yeah. This defense is going to be scary talented and scary good this year. And the scary thing is we don't need Tim Keenan to be out there to be the starter for this defense to be scared. As talented as Tim Keenan is, we don't need him to be the starter on this D-line to get this D-line going. But now, is he that kind of guy that can step in and be that leader that we need? Yes. He's proven it for the past 4 or 5 years that he's been at Alabama. But we don't need him to be that starter. Our linebacker room is deep in elite. See, our defense, I see a 4 or 5 man rotation this year, defensively at just about every position, because we have so much talent. And not saying that we're going to use that deep of a rotation, but we have it if we need it, that kind of thing. And the scary thing is, all the young guys that played last year, like Germie Brown, Deshaun Jones, a lot of our young people that got to get into the defense last year and play Red Morgan, it only helped them improve and develop. And this year, it's going to make them that much better this year in the defense this year. And so I'm excited. I actually feel bad for our opposing team's offenses this year with how good our defense is going to be this year and where I see our defense being at this year.
Right, 100%, man. And I appreciate you, Zach, for calling in, man. Anything else you want to say before we get off the line, man?
Just roll tide, my AAA family. And let's make it happen. Let's keep running the lights up. Let's hit 3K before May for Coach Smook, and let's do it.
Let's do it, Zach. Roll tide, man. Appreciate you, guy.
I appreciate you too, and roll tide.
All right, man. Zach must have seen something funny. He just started laughing over there. Zach get the giggling, y'all. Y'all better watch out. You don't know what's gonna happen after that. But getting back into it, chat. Let's get into this depth chart, man. And we got a few questions in the chat. Before we get into that, I do have to take a quick 2-minute break, infomercial break, to allow you all to research yourselves to get ready for this segment. So before when we come back, we'll get into the comments. Do not go anywhere. As a matter of fact, while we're going and you're getting this information on how to join the AAA family, right? I decided not to change it. We've been having way too many issues trying to get the final recording cut for the new video. So we're going to actually use some clips from this weekend to be in the new AAA video. So if you want to be in the new AAA infomercial video this weekend, you're going to be there, or you want to be add a clip to the video, submit it at Coach Smook to Coach Smook Network at gmail.com. All right, at gmail.com. Little 20-second videos, 10 seconds. What it was last time. No more than 20-second videos saying, AAA, authenticity above all, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Something about the network, right? We got a lot of slogans. Scoot Boogie, we got the Scoot Boogie going. Everything is going. Somebody said, Texas Nightmare. Go somewhere. Texas Nightmare. Go home. Go home, man. Is there not a Texas podcast that you feel like talking on? Because there's nothing about Texas that's interesting other than the fact that y'all done lost something. I'm not going to get into it. Got to stay on track. Listen, right after this infomercial break, we will be back here on the Coach Smook Network. Thank you for tuning in. Mary J, while these are going, you can take the banners off. I'll run the infomercial. All right, chat. This is how you become a member of the AAA family. Check it out.
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. And each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. If you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at CoachSmookNetwork@gmail.com and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Let's go. Come on. Welcome back in. Welcome back into the Coach Smook call-in show. We just got done with our calling segment. Got 2 phone calls today. That's a blessing, ain't it? Come on, give it up. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Give it up. Give it up for Jesus. In the chat, get it up for the Alabama Crimson Tide, because we know that Jesus loved Alabama Crimson Tide. So, I'm so petty, y'all. I'm just a petty person sometimes. But anyways, yes, thank you all for thinking about joining the AAA family. Think about getting that wristband. I'm telling y'all, man, we got a lot of things in store this coming up college football season. but also ways to support throughout the off season while we're supporting our high school football recruiting initiative, right? Not narrative, but initiative, where we're assisting high school athletes with getting invites to camps, getting in front of recruiters, in front of scouts, getting interviews with them, allowing them to have a platform to provide some stage presence, get recruiters and programs exposed to their personalities, not just what they do on the field, but who they are as young men and young women, young athletes trying to come and represent the university at the next level. So if you're going to support that, if you're about supporting those type of initiatives, definitely hit us up and think about becoming a member. That's an easy way to support. But the best way to support is by liking and sharing our content. The more people see us, the more they want to go to know. So well, Texas Nightmares, he wants some attention. Texas Nightmare today, man. Come back tonight. We got some action tonight, man. We about to get into this depth chart conversation. AAA family, Bama Nation. Let's talk about it. This is the interesting topic. I want to give my final depth chart projection, but I also want you all. I want you all to give your final thoughts on the depth chart. There's a poll in the chat too, man. There's a poll in the chat. There's not a poll. Well, yeah, there is a poll in the chat. Let me put it. And I need everybody to get to that poll. We got 36 likes on the stream, right? 36 likes on the stream. We got 42 in the live, man. Appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all make sure y'all tap that like on the stream. And then make sure you get that poll. YouTube is allowing us to, different ways to really help our algorithm. And so I'm getting back to and it's crazy because I had the code already. So we're going back to OG Smook for a few months and really crack this code. But with y'all support, we can definitely do this. He want the smoke. He don't want no smoke. He don't want no smoke, man. He don't want no smoke. Texas don't want no smoke, especially this year. They're going to find out real quick. They're going to find out real soon. But let's get into the depth chart conversation. Let's get into it, chat. I'm ready to get into it. I know y'all are. So let's get to this screen right here. And I think I'm going to go small face here. Mary J, you can remove that call and show banner for me. Oh, she's not back there. Or is she? Oh, she's back there. Remove the call and show banner. I think I'm going to try to edit this one. Yeah, I'll edit this one. I'll edit this one. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna edit this view real quick, and then get us back in the game. I think we're good right here. What y'all think? We Gucci? Talk to me. All right. So let's talk about it, man. Let's start on the offensive side. As always, man, we like to start defense on this side, but we're going to go offense. We're going to go ahead and knock it out. QB1, my depth chart right now as it stands, and we're gonna give time for everybody to kind of put they 2 cents in. But QB1, the QB depth chart and rotation right now, to me, as it stands, is how it should be, right? How it should be. By the divine order of things, how it should be. Going into the fall, this is what the depth chart should look like, and this is what I believe it will be. All right, QB1, Ty Simpson. QB2, Austin Mack. QB3, Keelan Russell. K. Carruth is the fourth quarterback in that room. Running back, Jam Miller, Richard Young. And honestly, guys, I cannot put this depth chart up here without doing this like this. I have to do it like this just because I truly believe that there is a 1A, 1B system, right? And you work, when you have a running back room like this, I think this is the type of rotation you get. You group these backs by 3. So this is your starting group of running backs with Daniel Hill, Richard Young, and Jam Miller. And then you got some guys behind them that kind of fit the molds of the guys in front of them, right? You got your do it all back in Kevin Riley, right? You got your dual all back. Then you got Dre Washington, who's more of your explosive runner, has the speed, but more of your power runner, like Richard Young with speed. And then you got AK Deer, like Daniel Hill, your bigger back third, change the speed back, can change speed, can run power, can get in between tackles, can run outside the tackles, can get out and split for you. He can be a third down back. So I like where we at in the running back room. All right. That's the rotation there. Go to the X position. The X position at the wide receiver. I like Isaiah Horton to be our starter there. I like Isaiah Hill to get plenty of reps and do plenty of damage there, that healthy rotation. And a guy like Derek Meadows with garbage time, you're going to see flashes of him. May not get an opportunity to be an intricate part of the rotation this year as he's continuing to develop, but a playmaker by nature, by trait, with his skill sets, a big frame, big body, 6'5", probably going to start next year at like 215, to be honest. He's only been on campus for 2 months now, and he went from 190 to 208. So the young man might play at 215 next year. I think Isaiah Horton might play at a slightly heavier weight. So a lot of things brewing in that X position. That's the rotation I got there. Go to the left tackle position. No, let's go to the other wide receiver position. We'll talk about offensive line last. All right. Agreed on the running backs. King family reacts. And honestly, King, and I'm gonna move my camera, Mary J. Don't sweat it. You good. Keep the comments coming. Honestly, King, I'm gonna say this too. Bro. I think this year we're more prepared for a healthy running game rotation because of the style of quarterbacks we have. Last year, you couldn't just go with the running backs with the explosiveness you got out of Jalen Milroe, right? You couldn't just lean on it. And Nick Sheridan was not used to running this philosophy in that phase or in that space. A young coordinator, right, with a new skill set to work with and to kind of push out there and operate a system that really wasn't made for Jalen Milroe's skill set. I think he did a good job, but it also caused some growth and forced people on that staff or even in that locker room who weren't used to it to adjust last year. So now they can add that to their repertoire and getting back to the original philosophy, more so what it's originally designed to be, is going to be an easy transition for this offense. On to the Z position, y'all. Even though he's missing practices, I know Ryan Williams is going to be that guy there, right, at that Z position. I honestly, and I'm gonna tell you like this, the Z in the slot position is kind of like the running back room for me, because in this scheme, in this offense, that position is interchangeable, right? You'll see a lot of motion here. You'll see wide splits with this wide receiver grouping right here with these sets. Let's have some playbook fun real quick. Don't let me get carried away, Mary J. So you might see this a few times, right? Where the tight end position may be on the line and you'll have these two off, right? And you might get a slot motion outside, right? Or you might get this wide split with these two, Z in the slot. You get your formation shift. Put him on the line, make him eligible. Cover up the tight end, is ineligible. Pull the Z off the line. Right, make him eligible. Right, then you get your jet motion from the Z position from guys that you want in that jet motion. Look at those guys you want. I mean, Ryan Williams, Rico Scott, Cole Adams, all in that position where you want from that jet motion from the Z position. Or in your Z screens, that's what you're going to see in that position. I'm jumping ahead of myself. The Z screen, your Z screens, and especially when you start seeing the tight end split out to those trip sets, those bunch trip sets right here, bunch quad sets, where you got your tight end personnel in there, right? Getting these guys out to block for the Z. Look at those names, speedy guys that can go. Ryan Williams, Rico Scott, Cole Adams. A lot of people think Cole is going to play in the slot. He's not a small frame 5'11" guy. He's not a small frame guy. He's actually probably bigger than Ryan Williams, to be honest. When you look at their frames. But then you look at the slot position, man, where you're going to get most of your jet sweep action from, right? You want your burners there. You want your speedsters there. I don't consider Germie Bernard a speedster, but for what he does in the offense and how elusive he is when the ball is in his hands, Great person to have is your starter there. Latham Brooks, we talk about his speed. With young guys, the best way to put a young guy's talent on the field is to get the ball in his hands. It's not to send him on deep routes and try to make him route everybody up every rep. Get the ball in his hand is in space as quick as possible and let him go to work. With the speed and quickness and agility of Latham Brooks, great rotation there. Then Jalen Mbakwe. We know about his electric skill set with the ball in his hands. That rotation is going to be deadly. And then we also got to factor in someone who's not listed. We don't have them on here right now, but Bubba Hampton. Preferably, there's no Porter talk with him. I've seen some rumors. I've had some people try to be fake insiders, get in my inbox and tell me that they heard. I ain't heard nothing, but other than from you. And I told y'all, even with the Jalen Hell rumors that I heard the other day, I said some rumors I just don't care to have, watch grow legs, right? And that's one of them. Jalen Hell, Bubba Hampton, those guys can't leave. Bubba in that rotation may not get heavy reps this year, but just having the assets available, because you don't know what can happen. Germie Bernard is in a proving year for the draft. His early production can set him up to where he feels comfortable with going ahead and not having to rush back and come back another year. So a guy like Bubba Hampton might get thrown into the rotation and need to be ready. So you think it was a good idea for Bach to go to the offense with all that wide receiver talent? I really do. I do. Because it's not about what's in that room this year that Bach is looking at. It's about the opportunity next year that presents itself. Bach has an opportunity to be the fourth guy in this wide receiver room next year. With Latham Brooks in that room, Derek Meadows going to develop at the X position. Jalen Hill's probably going to have to come back another year. We're going to see a quality rotational dose of Jalen Hill and Derek Meadows next year after Isaiah Horton is one and done. Right? You're going to get Sadarian Morgan, another big body wide receiver, to come in and possibly play that X position, but can also come in and be learning that Z spot. Bach and Latham Brooks as your rotational guys and Bubba Hampton next year, or you might be able to slide Bach out to the Z 5'11" frame, right? So it's so many assets, and that's why I think he really wanted to go ahead and get into it this year. Russell will be the starter next year. I think we can all bet on that. He will be the starter next year, no matter how whatever quarterback performs whatever like this year. Keelan Russell will be the starter next year. So I think Bach looked at that and was like, okay, that's something to look forward to. So I will spend a year developing under one of the best wide receiver coaches in the nation, if not the best, right? Offensive line, Caden Proctor, we seen him in the black jersey, already back practicing, getting first team reps. I think they're satisfied with what they got from Will Sanders and Arkel Anyaguam. And I think because of Sanders' experience in the system, he will be the number 2 guy at their left tackle spot. If Caden Proctor goes down, if he struggles, I think Sanders will get an opportunity to go there. Shorter than the guys, most tackles, but has the 6'5" wingspan that allows him to be a perfect fit. Arkel Anyaguam, the transfer from Ball State, great spring. Great spring, and I think you're splitting hairs with the competition between he and Sanders. What's up, MJ? Good to see you, brother. Out there delivering them ragged folks packages, ain't you? Cam Dewberry at left guard, I think, will end up getting the nod as a starter just because Gino Vandermark provides so much flexibility. If something is not right, he can go to the center position and be the first guy there. He can go to your left guard position and be the first guy there. So I think Cam Dewberry will get the start just by pure tenacity, size, strength. He's the better offensive lineman out of the two. Joseph Ionoda, even though he's listed as third in the guard position, I think he's another flexible utility interior piece. Okay? Center position. Parker Brailsford, we know he's coming in. Redshirt sophomore, junior in the classroom, ready to graduate for real, nephew, Rock Montgomery. I think he's embracing this opportunity to possibly be the next starting center at Alabama after Parker Brailsford goes to the draft this year. Right? Which is crazy because, I mean, it might just be a situation because I think this staff really wants to develop Mal Waldrop. There's a couple of 26 O-linemen that they're going to get. Rock Montgomery might be in a situation where he's the center for this next group of offensive linemen that is to step up in Joseph Ionoda, the true freshman, Michael DeBose, Michael Carroll, Jackson Lloyd,
You know, who else we got? I said Michael DeBose, right? We're missing one. I feel like Michael Carroll, Michael DeBose, Mal Waldrop. You get what I'm saying? Might have a year where Mal might play left guard. Rock might be the center since he's the senior leader guy. Oldest is probably going to be your next right guard, battling out with Micah. Micah's probably a 2-year development guy, man. He's so big and strong. He just got to get the technical stuff down. Michael Carroll, though, I got him listed down here, and that's no disrespect to my youngin. I think Michael Carroll, honestly, if it was just off of pure talent, he could start at right guard. He could start at right tackle, left guard. I think realistically with his skill set, he fits everywhere on the offensive line. So respectfully, Michael Carroll is down, and I'm going to put him down here. I don't think he gets redshirted. I think at the first sign of struggle, he might be your 7th man, 8th guy off the bench for this offensive line rotation. You need some physicality, throw him in there. Right tackle position. Tobias said something that I had to disagree with. I think Wilkin Formby, the moment got kind of big for him, man. If you didn't watch the series, he talks about how that USF game kind of shook him a little bit, right? But then you look at how he performed at the end of the year. I think he did great. And just looking at his development, he slimmed down a little bit more, right? As a matter of fact, no, I think Wilkin might have packed on about 15 pounds since last year. But he's filled out his frame. He's gotten a lot more solid. He looks like a grown man now, no more baby fat, right? Look like a grown man out there. And then Jackson Lloyd is somebody that's been impressing the whole spring. 78. Anytime you see 78 on the screen, he's really holding his own. Not going to make a lot of noise. He's just technically sound across the board. Somebody that you want in the locker room and is going to be a future star. And then the tight end position, again, we know that we're dealing with injuries. I think coming into the season, though, I think Danny Lewis might find himself in a battle for playing time if he sticks around. We saw him go in the portal in this before spring, and I guess he understood the initiative, had to go and get some things done surgery wise to get back healthy. He's not. I don't think he's even been in a black jersey this spring. I think he might be out the door, honestly. I haven't heard much from Danny Lewis since week 1, but he might be out the door. I'm not spreading rumors. I'm just based off of what I haven't been able to collect. And the same thing happened last year, kind of with Jaleel Hurley, somebody that I love and adore. I have a personal relationship with him. It's just that, you couldn't get anything from the staff from him. He wasn't popping in any scrimmages. Names wasn't coming up. And he was out there grinding. And I could see him getting better with his reps, but he was doing it against third team, So want to see what this tight end room looks like when everybody's healthy. Remember, we might not have Danny Lewis, but we still have a Jay Lindsey, a highly touted guy coming into that 24 class, right? That 24 class. He came in with that 24 class. Highly touted. Needed to develop and was the most targeted, even before the Josh Cuevas and Marshall Pritchett injuries, was the most targeted tight end with his reps during the spring. Has been providing some quality reps, even with those guys out. So, and then don't forget, Caleb Edwards is coming. He'll be on campus. 6'5", 235, 240, true freshman prospect. This might be a year where we see 2 true freshmen get some impactful minutes in this offense. Peyton Fox is more so a fullback in the tight end room. He's a fullback, kind of going to give us that Robbie Oots type energy. So that's the offensive lineup. That's the depth chart for the offensive side of the ball. And I think we look good with it. So we're going to clip that. All right, I got to speed through this because we got about 11 minutes left on the show. So starting on defense, cornerback CB1, Damani Jackson. Right behind him, I see Dijon Lee. We've already heard the reports from it being Dijon Lee's going to be an ISO corner, island guy. You can't deny the frame, guys. 6'4", 190, just like Tobias said. Somebody wants him at safety for what? When you can use him to literally shut down one side of the field. You got a safety at corner that has corner skill set. Why move him from that position? Utilize it. I got Elijah May out there. Please don't hit the portal, Elijah. I think you might get some quality opportunities this year.
some weird opportunities this year, Elijah. I really do. I think a lot of teams going to have to spread the ball out on us because of the defensive line. Some of these players, Smook, I believe I might have a Napoleon complex. Kareem, let me get Kareem's comment. Mary J. He said after looking at the size and height of some of these players, Smook, I believe I might listen. Listen, man, I hear you, bro. I hear you. I look at some of these kids coming in high school. When I was at Carver last week, in Montgomery, looking at some of these freshmen, 6'2", 235, 6'4", 280, freshmen, 6'4", 265, freshman offensive lineman. So yeah, I feel you, bro. I'm just glad I ain't got to handle that grocery bill. Put it like that. At the Husky position, Bray Hubbard, Drake Kirkpatrick. Drake Kirkpatrick made a lot of plays last scrimmage and then made some plays today's scrimmage. I think he's going to be a quality rotational guy. And remember, we got Keon Sabb still to add to the secondary chat, and Chuck McDonald coming in the fall. Ivan Taylor, I got him as number 3, but he's been getting a lot of reps with the ones. Him and Zay Mincy really have been like this at that position. And you see Cam Howard going lockdown 2s, 3s. He plays, same intensity with all the reps. He gets a heavy load of reps because of where he's at in the rotation there. Going across the secondary, we got at the Rover position, I think it's kind of set right now with Xavier Brown and Deshaun Jones. I know I had fear of Xavier Brown hitting the portal. There's no secret. I've talked about this in some groups and things of this nature because Cam Calhoun comes in. There's some way or another, this personnel grouping has to be this. If you want the best coverage assets on the field, right? And this is Coach Smook being Coach Smook and having fun with my roster, right? This combination of this has to be on the field when you have the opportunity to be in sets like this, right? This combination, Cam Calhoun, I don't mind him playing the Rover, but I'd rather him be out here on the perimeter. He's a little bit smaller in frame, and his corner skill set is more so fit for a boundary guy. So on switch releases, you got a guy with experience like Cam Calhoun. You're not getting beat on the perimeter on the outside on those concepts, and you're handing stuff off inside to a Rover position that's going to play. Most of his leverage is not going to be. He's not going to be in underneath leverage. He's going to be in over top leverage. He's got to be able to play the deep hook, the deep curls. Right, that's what the Rover is usually primarily responsible for in the base sets. If he's not in the man concept and overhang concept, I like Xavier Brown in run support. Another guy, same thing, Deshaun Jones. I think if I had it my way though, I would keep Red Morgan, being that he's shown his growth at that corner position. I would keep Red Morgan here behind these guys, and I would bring a guy like Ivan Taylor down to be at this Rover position behind Xavier Brown, because you put him next to an experienced guy in Cam Calhoun when he gets in and gets his reps, right? You're putting him next to a safety over top that's going to have his over the top help, his bracket help with Keon Sabb. Is going to be a guy that's going to be there to assist him on the field. So I think you can move a guy like Ivan Taylor, and I think his growing pains right now in this defense from the free safety position allow him to see everything in front of him, allows him to see what's happening at the Husky and Rover to where he can float to those positions and provide us some quality depth. Defensive line, let's get into a bandit position. I'm not going to even label this as a rotation. I'm going to just say these 4 guys right here will provide quality pass rushing from the defensive end spot. If I had to make a depth chart right now, bandit 1 is Keenan, 2 is LT, Kelby Collins, the new guy, is 3, and Henry is the new guy, the transfer is 4. And I don't think there's a distribution problem here. I think all of these guys will get 20 plus reps a game. I mean, Henry might be the one odd man out getting maybe 10, 11 snaps a game, but these 3 right here, Collins, Overton, and Keeley, will be playing heavy snaps in a heavy rotation. Defensive tackle position, for people that get confused, saying defensive tackle and nose guard are the same thing, they're not. Usually, and I'm going to go ahead and try to line this to kind of give y'all, usually what's going to happen is, in this defense, the nose guard is going to be aligned with the center, right? Your defensive tackle is going to be playing
either your 5 technique or somewhere 5 to 7 technique, right? And then your Wolf, he's going to either divide the difference between this tackle and tight end, or he's going to go ahead and play the outside leverage of this tight end or head up. All right. So if we're looking at the real makeup of it and why these personnel are in these positions, you're going to see why I believe it's going to look like this. Hold up, y'all. Give me a second. I'm going to do something real quick, and then we're going to get up out of here, chat. So, because of the lineup looking like this is what I want y'all to see. This is the fun part. I'm going to line this correctly, chat. All right, so for all my football heads, y'all like this right here. So the nose guard position, right there in the center of your defense, right? I got Tim Keenan, Steve Bolin, Isaiah Fager, in that order. I think Tim Keenan, Steve Bolin, that rotation is going to be heavy. You're not going to see Tim Keenan play 50 snaps this year. Steve Bolin is going to be implemented into this defensive front. He's a wrecking ball. And don't forget, we still have James Smith that will rotate to that nose guard position for pass rush sets. Right? The flexibility of this defensive line is going to be awesome. You look at the defensive tackle position. Like I said, not necessarily tackles here. These are big defensive ends, right? They're expected to play a lot of your end techniques, playing on over the tackle, playing the shading the outside of the tackle sometimes, forcing the linebackers and safety to be disciplined on their run gap containment in the interior. My rotation there, I got to go with James Smith, Jordan Renard, who's been basically the starter since James Smith has been limited. Jordan Renard has been the starter there. Edric Hill. Both of them guys, to me, have been getting balanced reps. And then with Jeremiah Beeman being so flexible, getting bandit reps, getting nose guard reps, getting defensive tackle reps, he's another utility player across the defensive front that just provides so much quality, depth, and value. And that leads me to believe that this will be like a 6-8 man rotation on the front. Maybe even 9. Maybe even 9-man rotation across this defensive front. The Wolf position is stacked, probably the most stacked room. You see how many assets are available in that room. I look at guys like Quay Russaw, who's had a great spring, being a leader, having the opportunity to kind of dial it back, not necessarily dial it back, but be pulled and be a leader from the sideline. His vocal leadership growth has been a thing that the staff members that I have connections with and parents that get to go to practice, they talk about Quay Russaw being a dog on that defensive side, just being a true leader. Him and James Smith. James Smith, even though he's not on the field during scrimmage and being able to make plays, you can see that the people in the defense respect those guys, and they have just a genuine love for Bama football. So that's promising and encouraging to hear. Justin Hill, the true freshman. Tobias said it. He does have the skill set to go to that inside linebacker room, but I don't think you pull Will Sanders 2.0. I mean Will Anderson 2.0 off the field and put him in the middle of the field. I don't think he's done growing in height either. I think he might end up being 6'5" before his junior year kicks off. I think he might end up being 6'5". Jah-Marien Latham, Noah Carter flashing. I'm so proud of young boy. Noah Carter 6'4", 240. I think he might want to play at 250 though. I think he wants to get over there to that bandit position with his arms, his length. I think he might be trying to make a transition to the other side of the ball. Just looking at him fill out his frame, man, he's starting to get big. And he's a true edge rusher. Terrell Lewis benefited from playing a true defensive end technique by having true edge rushing skill set, right? Pass rushing skill set. The Mike position. If y'all look at how I set the defense up, look at how this is set up. You got a bunch of head bushers. Let's go to the Will position. Got a bunch of headhunter guys that don't have any regards for their body. They're kind of relentless in their efforts as far as making tackles. And QB Reese, Caden Jones, Duke Johnson. Those are your weak side linebackers, your Wills, the guys that you want blowing up the blocks, taking on the run game blocks, shooting the gaps, being decisive in their run game coverage, being an auxiliary cover guy for pass concepts out of the backfield, right? That's what you want. And then look at where I have them aligned at. I got QB Reese there, but as we all know, I think that position belongs to Justin Jefferson as a starter. So you get Justin Jefferson with young redshirt freshman, sophomore in the field, QB Reese, right? Sophomore in the classroom, redshirt freshman on the field, QB Reese, a guy that's developed, came to Bama a little bit undersized, 6 foot 205. I think he came to Bama. Now he's getting that weight on him, filling out that frame, looking like a traditional linebacker. Not going to have the height still, but really the athleticism is there. Caden Jones, Duke Johnson, he's running to the same situation that QB Reese. He has a longer frame than what most of your linebackers have at that position, so he's going to continue to fill that frame out. But as far as making plays, you see him making plays. He's benefited from having to go against second and third group members, right? Caden Jones, a guy that's going to be a rotational depth piece, probably going to be a special team standout, right? Luke Metz, Abdul Sanders Jr., Nakai Hill-Green, and Deontay Lawson in that mic room. If I had to go with a starter going into the fall, I think Lawson gets the nod, but by season end, I think that's Nakai Hill-Green's job, full-time as the starter, the first guy out. And then Abdul Sanders, no disrespect to Deontay Lawson, I think he does just enough to get drafted, but I think coming back this year, looking at this linebacker room, unless somebody leaves unexpectedly, unless he leaves, I think he's coming to a crowded linebacker room. And yes, he's done a decent job, a good job in the past, but Nakai Hill-Green is going to get that same production. And Abdul Sanders Jr., he's ready. He's ready right now. He has the college size, 6'2", 230. He's got the IQ. He's got the speed. He's got the coverage skill set. And to me, he's a lot more physical than what Deontay Lawson has given us on a consistent basis. I think Abdul Sanders Jr. is our next Rolando McClain, chat. I am going to keep saying it. Get mad. People say I'm calling him overrated. I don't care. Say what you want. All right, Luke Metz. Y'all already know how I feel about my boy Luke Metz. Surprisingly, he has showcased. I think a lot of these guys are just going to have fun on special teams this year. I think their mindsets are, especially this 25 class. This 25 class knows what the future holds starting this year. And every opportunity that they get, I believe they're going to maximize it. With the amount of talent in front of them, this can be a dangerous team when we're looking at the depth chart. So we're going to get that depth chart clip. We're at the 2-hour mark. Look at that timing. Look at God. Listen, thank you all for tuning in today here on the Coach Smook Network. I hope you all enjoyed this segment today, breaking down Alabama's depth chart, giving y'all the post-practice reports from today's scrimmage. Don't forget, this Saturday, we have the Alabama A-Day open spring practice viewing this Saturday. If you're going to be at Tuscaloosa, I will be on site. Just look, get in the Discord. Moderators, get in the Discord, provide that Discord link for them. Get in the Discord. I'll be posting our movement, the AAA Alabama A-Day Entourage, AAA Alabama A-Day Entourage. We won't have shirts. We didn't get the shirt orders in time. But what we will do is we will have our banner. We will have our Coach Smook Network banner with us. So if you want to show up and just be on some vibey stuff, helping promote the network amongst the fan base, interacting and reporting, I'll be doing some things inside the locker room at some point during the day, but with some of the players and the families. So if you want to be a part of that, get in Discord. Let me know. When I'm moving, everybody that got the experience Georgia game last year, y'all know how it is when I'm moving. So besides that, don't forget to drop a like and a share on the stream. A 2-hour stream, y'all. We haven't done one of those in a while. You can tell we're excited about this Saturday. Drop a like, drop a share, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to check out our merch lineup. Remember, May 1st, the red and white letter lineup, it goes down. We have the coupon, the 50% off going right now. As a matter of fact, I think it launches today at 4 o'clock. So today at 4 o'clock, the 50% off. Everything is 50% off on the merch site up until May 1st. So you got about 2 weeks to support the network. Get your merch. Red letter, white letter lineup. Go get it, man. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out on it. And then what else we got coming up, chat? Tonight we're going to be trying to go live. We got Clint Lamb coming on from Cover Crimson. If you all aren't familiar with Clint Lamb, you're not a Bama fan, first of all, or a real Bama fan. Second of all, you're missing out on some quality content when it comes to covering Alabama and the quality of delivery and what Clint Lamb does. One of my good friends, man, in this industry, somebody that's been a consistent, I guess you can say, a consistent resource and support for me. Dialogue has put me on game about some of the ins and outs of this industry and certain people, who to talk to, not talk, all this stuff. Not being messy, but just it's some of the big names and big heads in this game, big talking heads in this game that really have impacted my journey thus far. If you on TikTok, you see I gave Kyle Henderson a shout out. The interview that me and him got to interview Jalen Miro last year popped up on my memories. And all jokes aside, everybody watching this, lurkers, everybody, Kyle Henderson and Coach Smook was a freaking dynamic duo. Kobe and Shaq, Kobe and Shaq of Bama content and coverage. So I enjoy, and that's how you know there's no love lost, man. I don't hold no grudges, even to the fakes that left the channel. I don't hold no grudges, man. I just hold you where you are, and that's how we should be. That's like my word of encouragement. Be respectful enough to really hold people where they are. Where people present to you, hold them there. Hold them accountable there. That don't mean you gotta hate them. You respect people and keep them out your circle. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, Ed Kareem, you already know I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna put that in Discord, but you know I'll text you, man. But we got that. But Clint Lamb will be joining us later on today, y'all. So make sure y'all tap in with me and my bro Clint, man. He'll be here. If y'all don't follow him, he's on Twitter at Clint Lamb. He's on the next round. Sometimes he's on with Mick Gillespie. Y'all know we had Mick on 2 weeks ago. So we're getting the other half of Cover Crimson, the Crimson crossover. I think it's the other show, the Bama Tailgate, what Mick is on. So y'all be ready to check it out. We'll be live with that around 5:30, 6 p.m. tonight. So y'all be there and show some support. But with that being said, remember, man, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Be easy, man. I love y'all. Continue to support and show your boy some love here on the Coach Smook Network. Y'all be blessed.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.